You will fall. You will not bring humanity down. God is going to destroy you. Get him off the screen.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we're going to talk about Brian Stelter being relieved of duty over at CNN. You heard me right. He has, I guess you would say, been fired or will no longer be on the network because CNN canceled his show, Reliable Sources, and I don't know what brainiac came up with that title for his show, Reliable Sources. CNN has a branding problem, and it's been like that for many years now. Why would you name your show Reliable Sources? I have no idea, but I digress. So they went ahead and canceled the show. I presume it was not doing very well. Ratings were trash. The name was trash from the beginning. So they canceled that, and they don't have anywhere else to place Brian Stelter. So maybe he got fired. Maybe he resigned. Whatever the case may be, he will no longer be on the network. And I say it's about time. CNN needs to clean up shop. And if you need a reminder of how bad CNN has been over the years, I'll play this quick montage from Daily Wire. And after we get done watching that, I'll come back. I'll talk more about little Brian Stelter. Shout out to Mark Dice. Then I'll wrap it on up, put the bow on top. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
This brand new research by Gallup says American trust in the mass media is at its lowest point since 2016 and near a record low overall.
Jeff Zucker has announced his immediate resignation as the president of CNN. This comes amid an investigation into what Jeff Zucker calls a consensual relationship.
What happened and where CNN goes from here?
You were caught masturbating on camera. You since then have been on leave from CNN. Do I have all that right?
You got it all right. Sad to say.
The biggest media story this weekend, it's the firing of Chris Cuomo from this network, CNN. Late Wednesday, a lawyer contacted CNN with a sexual misconduct complaint about Cuomo.
Joining me now, the man who accused Don Lemon of sexual assault. His accuser claims Lemon started rubbing himself.
But the even bigger point, I think, is about what the press is. Is it produced by reporters or by repeaters? Repeaters are the talk radio shouters. They're on TV and radio telling the same story every day. President Trump.
Donald Trump.
Telling the same story every day.
Repeaters are Twitter trolls who anonymously amplify propaganda and try to wear the rest of us down with their repetition.
January 6th.
January 6th.
January 6th. January 6th.
January 6th.
January 6th.
January 6th.
January 6th.
Repetition.
The January 6th insurrection.
The insurrection. The insurrection.
The insurrection.
The insurrection. The insurrection.
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 Repetition. Repetition.
Repetition.
So much of what they are repeating is from reporters.
All right, so that right there pretty much explains it. I mean, this guy, Brian Stelter, is just one piece of the puzzle, just one piece of the ridiculous pie that has been CNN over the past few years, especially during the Trump era. Oh, yeah. You see, I think CNN got caught up in what a lot of other networks got caught up with, but they did it to the extreme. Jeff Zucker, the former CEO, I don't know what kind of drugs he was on or what he was thinking about. He went down the whole Trump bashing path to get ratings and views and whatnot, but he went so far down the path, it became obsessive. All they ever did at one point was bash Trump, bash Trump, bash Trump over and over and over again. Their audience came to expect that. And now that you have Trump out of office and Biden's in there, okay, now what are we going to talk about? Are we going to continue to bash Trump? We're going to talk about January 6th. We're going to talk about Mar-a-Lago. We're going to talk about Trump University. We're going to talk about Stormy Daniels and Michael Avenatti. Who are we going to talk about? What are we going to talk about? We got real things going on. We got inflation. We got problems overseas, Ukraine, Afghanistan, etc. Russia. We're worried about Donald Trump still. That's not really going to work. And your network already has bad reputation. You go to some of these events where CNN is there, especially Trump rallies. What are you going to hear in the background? CNN sucks. CNN sucks. CNN sucks. Is it just because they focus on Trump all the time in a negative way? Or is it because that's all they do and nothing else? That's why they suck. If you're going to be a news organization, you need to cover everything, not just one little piece of the pie. And I think Brian Stelter was a tip of that spear of always talking about Trump, never anything else. And to be superficial a little bit, and y'all please forgive me, I know I may not necessarily be the most handsome man in the universe, but Brian Stelter has a face for radio. It is what it is. All right. Again, I'm not trying to say I'm the most beautiful man on planet Earth, but good night. Brian Stelter, put it to you this way. I know you see the gray in my beard and whatnot, but I'm older than Brian Stelter. I believe so. I think Brian's like 35 or 36. I'm 37. I'll be 38 next month. I'm older than Brian Stelter, but he looks like he's about 10 years older than me. I mean, that's just my humble opinion. Y'all may think differently, but the guy has a face for radio. Combine that with you have bad content on your show, a bad name for your show. You have a network with a bad name. It's all bad. So they went ahead and canceled that show. And I'm glad they did. I say finally, shout out to Alex Jones for that epic rant at the beginning. If you want to see that full rant or the full montage from Daily Wire, I'll place my links in the description, but I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about Brian Stelter finally being relieved of his duties over at CNN? Is it about time? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. I think it's a good start, or I won't say a good start. It's a good continuation from CNN, because we know that they went ahead and fired Chris Cuomo after his brother got fired from being the governor, or recalled, replaced, whatever you want to call it. They fired Chris Cuomo. Now they got Brian Stelter. Who's next? Don Lemon? They may as well go ahead and just do a complete overhaul of the network to try and regain some kind of relevance, to try and salvage their good name. Because at one point, they had a good name. They were a reputable network. They were a good network. They were almost like a Fox News. But that, over a period of years, just declined. And during the Trump administration, during the Trump era, it went totally away. It vanished over a very short period of time. So maybe they could do a complete overhaul, get rid of some of the relics from the past, and rebuild. Hopefully for their sake they can, but for right now, if they keep going down this direction, they're not going to wind up on the other side in a good place. That's just the reality of it. But again, this is a good continuation and or start to get rid of one of the worst anchors on television, little Brian Stelter. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.